Morning Show with Anthony here on 92.9 and 96.9 EHM. Super excited to have our next guest on the phone with us. He's from the group Bahamas. It's Afie. Afie, what's going on, dude?
Hey, how you doing?
Big day for you today, and I'm happy that you spent some. You're going to spend some time with us here. Appreciate that. You got the album coming out today, and a sold-out show tonight at the Music Hall of Williamsburg. That's got to feel good. New record out, sold out show. How's the feeling right now? How's the vibe in the band?
Oh man, it's the best. I mean, what more could you ask for? You know, it's just it feels like there's some real excitement around this record. I mean, I guess I feel lucky because I always kind of have felt that around all the albums, and this is just sort of continuing some upward momentum. And I mean, you know, I'm just excited to play these songs because they're really just sort of, I mean, they're exciting songs just on a real elemental level. They're just really fun songs to play, and I think people seem to be really connecting with it so far.
Yeah, now I've only heard Way With Words, the single that you released so far that we're playing here on EHM, so I haven't heard the rest of the album. Yeah. But give me a little bit of the genesis of it. Was this written in the studio, written while you were on tour? Give me the background.
Not really. I mean, I was touring like crazy the last several years, and I came home from all that, and I was just kind of tired, just drained. You know, I have young kids, and I just didn't have a whole lot of time, and I was thinking, how am I going to write songs? And then, I basically just it just dawned on me, like, I don't need anything. I don't need any time. I don't need an instrument. I can just write songs anywhere. So I started writing songs in the car when I was in traffic, and I started writing songs in the grocery aisle when I was waiting in line, and you know, I just the writing process was really just elemental. If I would come up with an idea, a lyric, or a melody, and if it didn't feel good, I would just move on to the next idea. And so the sound the record just has this sort of like very immediate quality to it. And I think, you know, you can hear that in a track like Way With Words, and the whole record at large sort of is jumping right out of the speaker.
All right. I have a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. How old are your kids?
3 and 1. So we're in the same boat almost. I'm just a little bit ahead of you there. Pretty wild ride.
All right. Now, as you're writing, do you ever find yourself accidentally writing the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse theme? Does that ever creep into your writing at all?
It's a lot of Paw Patrol at our house. It's,
okay.
It's a lot of Paw Patrol and ponies. That's more the focus at our place.
All right. Paw Patrol's not that bad. You're not in that bad of shape. Yeah. That's not bad.
Nah, we're doing good.
So this is your 4th record now. Do you feel like a legit musician, or do you not have that confidence behind you with all these albums and touring and everything else?
No, I mean, you know, this is all I do. You know, all of my adult life I've been doing this. You know, I was working as a side musician for a long time and got to play with great artists and travel all over the world, and then now I've been doing this thing for 10 years, and you know, it's just sort of a nice continuation of that life. You know, it really is just a lifestyle. You know, I was a musician and I was an artist long before anybody was interested in talking to me on their radio program. You know, so it's nice. It's definitely nice when this feels like people are sort of tuned into what you're doing, and that's kind of where we're at now. And you know, but I'll be doing that for hopefully my whole life. You know, so it's an amazing life being an artist. You know, I just really encourage all young people to find some creative outlet, because it gives you so much more than just a career. You know, it's a hobby and it's therapy, and it's like it comes with a whole social community, and I mean, there's a lot there for you if you get into it. You know. Yeah,
it's funny that you say that though, because it's true. Like you go one day from nobody wants to talk to you and you're trying to get a gig to the next day like everybody's like, oh, we got to get Afie on, you know, we got to get him on, you know, and then you're still the same person. And what's really changed other than you got the 4 albums under your belt now, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, you know, just having good friends and good family around to just keep you in line, keep your perspective in the right place, you know, because it's all that attention can go sideways pretty quick if you just kind of buy into it. So it's, of course, it's nice. You know, I'm happy to have people's ear and have an audience. I mean, that's such a great place to be as a performer. But you know, it's just my normal in a way. It's just my life, you know. So life goes on and takes many twists and turns, and it's you know, for me, I've been very fortunate. So it's all been sort of very positive.
All right, so Afie is with us here from Bahamas on the Morning Show with Anthony. Earthtones is out today, sold out show. Music Hall of Williamsburg tonight. It's the morning show with Anthony because I got kind of a weird last name and I didn't want to explain that to people for the rest of my life. You kind of did the same thing. Your name is Afie, and you decided to just
Tell me about it, man.
I know, right? It's a whole deal. You decided to call the group or the project or whatever, yourself, Bahamas.
Yeah.
But then I love this, that your third record was called Bahamas is Afie. So why did you do that?
Well, I think there was a period there where I was like, okay, I made this attempt to kind of just like have a different, a moniker, a name for this art project that ultimately became my career. And I thought, okay, this is not working. People aren't getting it. So I'm gonna literally just call the album Bahamas is Afie, and that'll just sort of set the record straight. I mean, to my mind, I thought that was quite a definitive statement. But then, you get out on tour and you start doing interviews, and people would be like, "So, Alfie, why did you call the album Bahamas is Afie?" Like, it sort of deepened the confusion to some degree, But I mean, in some ways, like, that was just fun for me because it just makes it more of an art project, and I kind of like that little bit of confusion. It's nice to keep people on their toes a little bit. I mean, try Googling Bahamas and see what comes up. I mean, that was kind of the idea when we first started. It's just to make it a little bit difficult for people.
Yeah, I'm sure record labels love that. Like, I want to make it more difficult for people to find my music. I'm sure all those guys love that.
Yeah, thankfully I haven't had to deal with that too much. But, it's not that hard now. People are pretty savvy.
Are you getting residuals from the Bahamas? Because you're kind of raising the profile of the island a little bit here.
You know what? I mean, from time to time we get some hate mail from actual Bahamians saying, "Hey, man, you're not representing the island sound," and I think they don't really get it, that it's just a thing. I mean, It just as easily could have been called Boston or Asia or Europe or something, and I don't think Boston is claiming to represent the Boston sound, but no, I've never been there. I just when I started, I just thought like that was a cool word, and it just conjures up some nice imagery, obviously. So that's a nice way to filter the music a little bit.
Yeah, good point about Boston. I didn't think of that too. Now you're up from Toronto, so are you a Leafs fan, or you can care less about hockey?
Oh boy. Well, the truth is, I don't really care. I mean, I like playing. I like being active. I like doing stuff, but I just don't really care can't be bothered. Can't be bothered to watch the sports. I mean, it is a hockey town. I'll probably just offend some people by saying that, but the Leafs aren't short on fans. They don't need me. They got lots of people who want to buy their $300 jerseys and stuff. So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, yeah. They don't even need to win any games, and they still got fans. So it's kind of it's a win-win for them.
That's a true thing. That's a true statement if there ever was one. All right, so you're a self-taught guitarist. Now I want to ask you about this, because I'm really, I know nothing about guitar, like can't play, like just awful at it. But I'm always fascinated by guitarists. You have, especially, and you can actually hear it really well on Way with Words. I think guitarists have a tone to them. Now, guitarists have a style, they have a sound, but I think guitars and guitarists have a tone to them. And you have a Mark Knopfler tone to your guitar playing, like that slight reverb, that little thing that you got going on there. I want to know how that came about. Is Mark an influence? Is that just your style? Is kind of coincidental? Tell me about that.
I just sort of I mean, in a weird way, I'm just sort of coming to his playing and his music very late in life, and I think it's more just like realizing that maybe we have some common ground there, But really, it's just when I was coming up, I never really was drawn to the guitar heroes, the Jimmy Page, the Jimi Hendrix, like Eric Clapton, like all those guys. I mean, of course, they're great players. It's not, there's nothing to take. I'm not trying to bring them down in any way, but it just didn't really do it for me. I was always interested in the players who are a little quirkier. It wasn't about big distortion or big loud guitars. It was just more about interesting playing, rhythmic playing, and just being part of a group, playing with the band. And you're right. I mean, the guitar, it's just like any other instrument, if you kind of learn to play it in your own voice, in your own tone, then you end up getting that recognizable quality to it. And that's kind of, I feel like I'm still working on it, and I will be working on it, I'm sure, for the rest of my life, is just trying to get a sound that's my own sound, the same way Knopfler has a sound that's his sound. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's so much fun. When I was a teenager, the guitar kind of like just seemed like limitless in what it could do. And now it's like 20 years later, 25 years later, I still feel that way. I still pick up the guitar and I just think like, wow, this thing can do anything. I can go anywhere I want to with this. So it really is a wonderful instrument for that.
That's so cool. I love that you said you didn't really look up to the Jimmy Pages and all that too, because I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I admire them, like you said, but I never really, like, some people just are completely head over heels. So was there anybody, up there in Toronto, as you were coming up, that you were like, oh my God, how did you get bit into the music bug? Was it seeing somebody, or was it just picking up a guitar and playing?
Well, I mean, I definitely really love Ry Cooder. I've loved him for a long time. I mean, he's not like some sort of unknown artist. Obviously, he's very established and a huge guitar god to many people. But yeah, he would be an example of someone who's just, he's totally unique, and the types of music that he tries to get into are just so varied. And but there's a guitar player here called Christine Bougie, and I just admired her playing forever. She's just from another planet. She just seems to be able to play. Every night she plays something different and something interesting and something relevant and something modern, and she's not referencing anything from the past. It's totally her own thing. And here's the best part. About 3 years ago, I asked her to join my band, and she's been touring with me ever since. So now it's like, every night I get to play with my favorite guitar player, and, I just get to just be a part of the band that she's in. And it's like, I don't know, that's just sort of next levelized my playing, just getting to, just through osmosis, like getting to hang out with her so much and be around her version of my music is like, I don't know, it's like, pretty selfish, but I'm loving it.
That's amazing. Yeah. And I know, like, yeah. I know Bahamas is your thing, but the band, especially out on the road when you guys are touring, that's got to be cool to look over at your favorite guitarist and how she's interpreting the music and where she's taking it.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's like it started as a solo thing, and and I still do a fair amount of touring solo. I enjoy doing that. It's a different thing, but I really like playing that way. But it's kind of nothing better. Like, we just get to hang out all day, cracking jokes, and at the end of the day, we get to play music with each other. And yeah, I mean, all the people I play with, most of them are from here in Toronto, and my drummer lives in Winnipeg. But everyone, I've just known everyone for several years now. It's just like, it's a very, very, lot of camaraderie. That's kind of the best part about playing music. Like I said earlier, it just it gives you all these other things beyond just a career. It's like, you just kind of get great friends out of it, and get to share that experience with them.
So your drummer's from Winnipeg. Do they know that you don't like hockey, and they're okay with that?
He's okay with it too. He's there too. He's one of us. I don't think he gives a crap about the Winnipeg Jets either.
You guys are all finding each other up there. That's nice. You got a little thing going.
Yeah. You just gravitate towards each other.
Could have named the band Anti-Hockey if you really wanted to, if you think about it. But
yeah, well, I have a song called Hockey Teeth. You should check it out. That's my first record.
You know what? I've never heard that one. How have I not heard that? Oh my God.
Oh, it's out there. You'll hear it.
I got to go back. I'll tell you what. I really caught up in 2012 is where I really caught up with you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, right? Because that was a big year for you back then. You won the Juno Award and all that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So that's, that's the cool thing is, like, if you're just kind of getting tuned in on this record, if you like it, then there's 3 more albums to check out. So that's always nice to find an artist that has like a catalog of stuff that you can kind of spend time getting into. There's no real rush. The music's just there whenever you need it.
Absolutely. BahamasMusic.net for more info. The new record is Earthtones, and it's out now. Grab it wherever you grab your music. Afie, thanks for being on with us, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah, next time you're around, we'll have you back on and talk some more music and not as much hockey.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, take care, man.